Okay, I'm back, people. It's me. Okay, today I think my thought stream is going to travel along the adoration and materialism route. Bear with me. Something I'm working through in my brain right now. Okay, if you look back through history, the top 10 inventions over the last, I'm going to say 100 years, the top 10 discoveries made by human beings were made by people under the age of 25. Under the age of 25 who went to no place of higher education. They were not tenured. They were not recognized in their industry for anything. It was aha, eureka moments held by younger people. Now, if you look at the way TV works by talking us all into thinking the outside world is a particular way, even though we've never been to anywhere in the outside world. We've only been painted a picture of that outside world by the TV. Now we have this subconscious idea of how everything really works that was painted for us by the TV. Eureka moments, young people inventing things, TV tells us how the world really works. Education system, same way, it teaches us how the world works, and how science works, and how math works, it teaches us. So, what's to say that there hasn't been a knowledge embargo held by people in positions of power so that they maintain their positions of power and we don't get smart enough to possibly take away their profits. Our economical system, using money, which, when you break it down simply, is a physical representation of your very existence now, because you're required to have a job or be on assistance to live within the United States. You have to have an income of some sort, otherwise you're considered a vagrant by society. You're unwanted. You don't belong here. No, you cannot camp over there in that corner by the stream because somebody owns that land. Sorry, you're not allowed to be homeless. Even if you call that tent your home, you have to pay taxes of some sort in order to reside on these great lands. Okay, now people have to provide income. Their school teaches them what they apparently need to know to get by. The TV's telling them what they need to do to get adoration and be liked by other people. The TV surely makes it seem like having lots of money makes people adore you, because look at all of the actors and rich people and musicians. People adore them and they have lots of money. At no point did the TV tell us that having money will make people adore you, but it flashes that image in our face every day of our lives. So now we quest after money because internally we're questing after adoration. We're questing after people liking us. We want to feel a part. We want to be a part of a group. We're all humans, yet we've subdivided ourselves into race, class, religion. We're all human. The ability to feel like we're a part of something is within us all, because we all have one connecting factor, and that is we're all the same species. So if we all worked together to better ourselves, there would be no limit to where we could go. Now, if we get rid of our economic system that is completely materialistic, that means we get rid of that internal quest for adoration. If we get rid of the quest for money, So if we adopt a social crediting system like China's trying to work on, I know it sounds horrendous, but if we adopted a social crediting system that could possibly be ran by AI, as scary as that sounds, then the result of your life, how much food you can buy, what types of food you can buy, what extra tasks you can be involved in without having to pay. You could have all kinds of opportunities arise for you based on everybody in your area, your society, your locale, whatever, based on their perception of you. So if you're nice to every single person you meet, then life could treat you good. And if we're using electronics now to a point that we know what emotional vibrational patterns come out of your brain electrically when you're happy, when you're sad, when you're grateful, when you're irritated, when you feel like you've been wronged, if we can isolate the patterns of emotions electromagnetically, then we could use our smartphones with proximity sensors so that they would do a digital handshake when you got within proximity. They would know who is talking back and forth. Your phone using the internal microphone would... I'm sorry. Fighting off a bit of a cold. Your phone's microphone would know that it's you talking because it's recognized your voice pattern. It has programmed that pattern into itself to recognize you as the speaker. So now when your phone does a digital handshake with another phone, they can communicate to each other who is having the conversation. Who am I talking with that is creating the emotional response that my owner, my human, is having? Who is creating this response? If you log that response, then you know what kind of person that is talking. What the social response of that person's existence is. Electronically, we could do that now if we didn't have to worry about one thing: money. The same money that's based off of our lives and that they've psychologically programmed us all to be dumb so we don't take that money away from them. The people holding positions of power and the people who already have lots of money. That's why the divide keeps getting bigger, because they keep sucking up more and more of it and trying to keep us all dumber and dumber, when in reality that's just driving the need for a new economy. Their greed is what's driving the change, and their greed is driven by them being scared to lose it. So if we switched it over to a action-based economy, your purchasing power, your your VIP status, your whatever you want to call it. Let's call it your emotional wallet. Every good deed you do fills your emotional wallet with whatever society has determined emotional states to be worth. So if you give somebody utter and complete joy or relief or happiness, or they feel loved, or any kind of good emotion, we could make that worth a certain dollar amount. On the same token, you could make negative responses be a detriment to your wallet. So if you cut somebody off and they feel like they've been wronged, if you compare the two emotional states, the one doing the cutting off and the one being cut off, you could have an AI program running that could determine the intent of the action. Because an action without intent when viewed as a crime, is a crime itself. It's like me telling you I don't want to go to a restaurant. You hear, oh, he doesn't want to go. But that's not what my intention is. My intention when I say I don't want to go is I have no inclination to go, but I'm not against going. That has a completely different intent than I don't want to go. Now, if you've manipulated a society's language to the point where we no longer use phrases that are logically correct, or they no longer specify intent, if you manipulate their language through movies, through music, through whatever you want, now you can form a court case on anybody strictly because your feelings got hurt, not because of the intention behind the action. You can imply an intention and argue your facts to prove your point, because there are no set in stone communication techniques anymore. Everything has a manipulation behind it. And I think because of the way our society is truly ran, it's kept that way on purpose so that the rich people who have hundreds of lawyers in their employ and the very successful lawyers who understand this very fact, it's so that they don't come out of power and they remain on top. Look at professors. You can't make a discovery, change history, and become a professor with tenure, because you can only have tenure and be a successful, professor if you've memorized the facts at present well enough that they know you're not going to try to change the system. Because as soon as you change one aspect of history, you've got an entire part of academia that now has to relearn everything and has spent an entire lifetime mastering facts that have now been deemed false, which makes their life's work worthless in their eyes. Maybe not consciously, but subconsciously, you're going to delegitimize their entire life's work. And that scares the ever-loving hell out of them. I can see why that would scare people. You may in fact have a lot of people who are thinking they're doing the right thing, when in fact they're doing the wrong thing as far as the survival of society and human race goes, because their actions are based on greed internally instead of actually doing what's humanitarian. In their head, they view it as humanitarian because society has shifted their viewpoint of what's important by the money system. I think it all goes hand in hand. And I think we're on the verge of making huge discoveries, because these discoveries that are going to happen, I almost guarantee you that after every one happens, there's going to be thousands of people around the world who hear about that discovery and instantly slam their palms to their forehead and think, why didn't I think of that? And it's all on purpose, because if they can use little tricks to keep your mind unfocused and not thinking and just focused on your emotional state, the logical part of your brain never takes over and fixes it and solves your problems. Especially when your brain thinks that government's there to solve all your problems, so you don't need to waste the energy on it yourself. I'm going to go ahead and let that one just brew and fester in my brain a little bit longer. I think I'm going to have to figure out a way to word it correctly and write it down, and it's going to take a little while, but at least now I have, the thought laid down. I've captured that thought before it could shift and evolve and mold itself away from being something that I see as a possible solution right now. If I don't trap that thought when I have it, write it down, if I don't record it, if I don't do something, then the way our system works, something on the news, on the radio, hell, what happens at work, something could shift my thinking and make me forget all about this very conversation, albeit one-sided, but this very conversation ever took place inside my brain. Now that I've recorded it, it's logged, it's tracked, I can go back to it as long as I give it a good enough description, which I haven't been doing in my videos, but I'm going to start doing now. I'm just throwing it out there. What you're seeing is the logical mind digging itself out of the swamp of psychological programming that we've all been swimming in unknowingly. Since we've first stepped foot in a school building, they've started painting the outside world to us. They've started throwing all kinds of dishwashing soap in our heads and giving that little nugget a shake like you wouldn't believe, trying to wash every bit of logic and creativity out of it, so that we didn't by chance ruin somebody's investments, ruin somebody's somebody's money they get for every sale made, their gratuities, their residual payments, whatever you want to call it. I'm not thinking quite correctly, it's early. But I'm going to let this go so I can go eat my breakfast. A delicious blend of hemp seeds, oats, cinnamon, a little bit of coconut oil, high in B vitamins. Got ADD, I try to eat as many B6 vitamins as I can, which helps you focus, and B12. I used to self-medicate with high doses of caffeine, but I'm getting older and I worry that will affect me cardiovascularly, so I don't consume as much caffeine. I've found other methods. But food is the best method of treating any illness you have. Illness is actually a side effect of your diet. Change your diet, you get rid of the side effect that you're suffering from, which was caused by something you ate. You don't need to take a pill to get rid of illness. Stop eating what's causing your illness. Now I have to go because my breakfast awaits, and time is something I don't have a plentiful amount of. So today I'm going to do something different, and I'm going to let you all see me and say, you guys have a good day.